Tomadala radio barangan kulu matarango hunkuna ina salange kelma kasini deba France kiniga ina sola nongo radio baru kodo salange kelma yongo imana sola kala kangiti manna kijia kang te aman bori akontra illa bodino anakindang ilum dunya stiliga kangna indo kande gaxni indi la bora wanona walam de patumora wen kontra pam Kemarganda boleh kan boleh rakyat yang ada boleh komputer keberat ini lagi tangga ini jadi boleh ada bahan jago itu sekarang dia sampai ilmu siap boleh akan jika boleh dari dalam perkembangan jadi lagi
Dima to da tije ya zan ka saban ta kunno sineo barkan hinan guwandi mo nan guwandi sam guza gida ai hizi ai gode hizi iye ne dai ne woga tai sai dinan kulkan ai wogo ko ai man min nan kulkan gan ko yan ga kan albora gono da man talbora no ne muka ai wasin gan da ban kan sai da kan da ni zan kai sai ban kare ka dai bora koi non foga ce no fuwe kulkan giru ya ce no kulko yasino ikolo idira ikoi harasi oh amma ruworiye dai godda yakine de boddu kena num hawru de bor man du don gor sino duwa munno
dan handu kulu da hakai dia to akwai kafar da hanka ha ko gudu irin da kai da mun dumo irin fir harakara wallahi kai da buwar alhamdulillah ma har da kai da mate akai da ban bisa aban yi daga dai ne wallahi
ai wonde ke sege kotte problème a sege kotte deno gogo ay je mo san kenno e man beri aniga be mo ko de borno sege kotte ay ga farno za guri hakko kala gurgu alula gurgu son to ka kanete ba wona la deti agoge ga sinem do gogoy am do gogoy yang te kan kayan do ngana da sinigte so ka ga sina go nan ay gogulu goy ay gogulu ga nafu bobu tere do borgo ne ga sine toure o mame borgi beri toure o mame jangay de no go ne toure kulgo ne o do kul borgi ayo dan imi kansi
so bindu boddu ndo de bon za ko no bol fose wol bo manera do bor bindu na almano ne din ga ni bonse na gan zoro danga hangan dinda da kai dia to mo zan kai ko ga kursa jora no
appreciate the efforts you have made to come at a short notice. And particularly, I want to welcome those of you who have traveled a long way from the countries of the Sahel region, also those who crossed an ocean to be with us today. We all know what brings us together in this room. Again, erratic rains, poor harvest, and an estimated shortfall of over 2.5 million tons in food production drive food prices up. The human cost is massive, and we have not yet reached the peak of the crisis.
Les principaux pays concernés sont le Burkina Faso, le Cap-Vert, la Côte d'Ivoire, la Gambie, le Ghana, la Guinée-Bissau, le Libéria, le Niger, le Sénégal et bien entendu le Mali.
We would like really to concentrate the effort on current needs, but we would like also to look on all issues that make an impact on resilience.
This is not the first time that such a crisis has hit this region, which faced a serious drought as recently as 2010. But there are things that are different this time, which are very important. National governments raised the alarm early, and the humanitarian community worked together to support early action.
And then, of course, we have the northern
One of the most important things that comes out of this last meeting was the resilience point. It's trying to ensure that we build capacity so that the populations can respond themselves as much as possible in the first time at least to new and recurrent crises, so that we reduce in fact in a way the dependency of always to need to assist from outside.
ECHO is the humanitarian department of the European Union, and it provides assistance to all those people who are affected by crisis or disasters. As such, it's one of the largest donors in the world.
WFP is our major partner here in Niger. We have an important number of funds that are going through this partner to assist the population here. They are a very big operator who of course works with a lot of other smaller partners, international as well as national organizations who will implement most of these activities.
Now we are halfway in the crisis, and we can see that our response has saved life. But we're not there yet. We need to continue. The crisis is not over. We have just taken more steps to mobilize even more funding from more sources. We talk about 15 million people who are at risk. And out of the 15 million people, 8 million are really dependent on assistance. If you invest in the growth of a child, if you avoid that a child becomes fully malnourished, you in fact invest in the future of a country.
They are provided with a financial assistance, a cash contribution, which can be done in different ways. Some people provide it directly, others do it even through mobile transfers.
Donc, les bénéficiaires, une fois identifiés, Oxfam procède à la distribution des cartes. Après cette distribution des cartes, maintenant, la compagnie téléphonique recrutée pour la circonstance s'occupe maintenant de la distribution du cash. Et vous avez remarqué, c'est un projet qu'on a ici uniquement des femmes. Pourquoi? Parce qu'on a supposé que les femmes sont les chefs de ménage, parce que c'est elles qui sont vraiment en contact direct avec les enfants, en tout cas qui vivent vraiment les problèmes réels au sein de ces cellules familiales.
hande fofo ne ne bores handugu me ne kai bores tarte go borsi da wata kan da handu no lokaci ga babu to iga am fele ko san borsi ara kan ni ko gurorota portable ora iga samba kan ni ko ga norota alhandugu wa me yadi ne kite karto go borsi ke santi
kiddo nga deno go du gal sene nga deno go gal sene go du bafar da no matuno bafar mo gona gabi
donc mare ni ito bore do il bore suban no effectivement ma agonda sante izagum kuna bora kunno go tabora bora kunno asindi ne boro agaza kena bora kunno de ka gas bora kunno bagarasi
ite catch for all ken ite food for all ken goyi bagumu kanga nan woni kudu ira population im kudu kaina da bora ga goyno ibinno kaina matkun kan digite de si jang hankan ni gudu semenora habu ka habu ido gari bana do kan ni se gaksine agte wani no agte no kware no woni kudu gaksine no kan go nan bore go hinka ka kangai bon kati
kan sal bore de la bora zan sande mo ni ko cheshi di divina mo e tabi ne mo di ka sande ro bo ne mo di ko cheshi ma ke go digina ndi ko sa jora so mo ko bien ka so e ka mo ami du turno wadu ku ka nera du dan kan ngil ko wayndi ani do ay kisam borse Nadia wo inem kwada lautar kwarai kwanda kenyin kadu ngo ibo kwanda da ino ibo ga no haiwa nchi me ankan wana ya ma aw limpo no inno aw aka wa ka gudun gaiga ma na kan da adan jobu abu irma kwala gitirwa ji irma dungiri no Nadia wo ine mfada lautar kwarai kwanda du kenyin kuno yango ngono adu ikada se archilla aw to wani ron da har gono don son da no iga no ase amhanima har no ski gerga ni ma no son zengi filla e son afu e fil habo afu ne bai e zahan sintina hano ki kanda iki ni se ne zankano kan agozan ka sabera to hayo ki ino ni se ndi e manti wano aikin bo harno dan kanga harno kan gabi no agami ma hadda agawa e haiwadin kan zago tina o tina kan zago agi tina aga ya no gora jago kuno no tunia apa ganda goro
And the difference in 2011-2012 is that the international community used the early warning systems. We used the data, the preliminary data that we had in October and November of 2011 to develop an early response. We didn't wait until we had official surveys. We didn't wait until we saw nutrition centers overflowing with malnourished children. Early action was taken. That's the difference here. But not only that early action was taken, but that there's such a strong partnership between the government, the United Nations, the NGO partners, and the donors, such as ECHO and the European Commission. we all support early interventions to stop a crisis from becoming a humanitarian emergency.
En 2011, cette crise que nous vivons aujourd'hui, lorsqu'on a fait une évaluation de la situation au plan déficit céréalier, et lorsqu'on regarde sur les 260 villages que compte le département, 257 villages ont été déclarés déficitaires et le déficit atteint souvent 95%.
In the Sahel, that's West Africa, in fact, there was sufficient food, but not at the right places. So what we have done, together with an organization like World Food Programme, is to mobilize the food, to buy it where there was a surplus, and to bring it to where there was a deficit. So that was the first step. Then the second step is to distribute the food to the families in need.
Ça, c'est du Super Céréales Plus. Ce produit est fabriqué en Italie, à Venise, et il prend 2 mois pour arriver dans les ports, et puis à peu près 15 jours des ports jusqu'au Niger. C'est la farine de soja qui est enrichie avec du sucre, du lait en poudre, de l'huile et d'autres vitamines minéraux. C'est pour la prévention de la malnutrition pour les enfants de 6 mois à 23.
Voilà, regardez nos idées. Voilà. Et dis-moi que voilà.
Tuna matkena kida za hadan production ene kasna o kam sam ko kande an takin da kaga mano ikanda dima sam han kasi ne juin à septembre yanga handu kullu ga pami kuno ration kan handu fo won ne ga ko do ke gote département de wala mo ki wala binno Niger la ko ga te ko adina estimé à peu près pam ga saka o kande 11 tonnes Zamba waiting for no
Our activities have been mostly focused, of course, in the hospitals, and the cash and food is more oriented through these partners in the same areas, and very often, especially in the last months, combined with what we call the blanket feeding. The blanket feeding provides food for children between 6 months to 2 years. If we combine this activity of blanket feeding with cash contribution, you protect the whole family, and so you ensure that there is indeed a higher probability for them to be resistant and resilient to this crisis.
Donc tubarakallah haran wana kan teki bisa sabitin zama kan din kon se dogone bobu men waro pondara bakan kay dia mon boyi il ko te yek sabito nan tonton il gaksen ko do wana wana pamiyan gaksino ki go kajerse vraiment annan de robo manti zama gwamnati na sensibilisation bobude bore miskoi me kulun da de baka ikoi mantu bora kulno koi e tubarakallah bore bobu goro e bore kan goro mu imanne ile madalla iman donda igwara kiti
idan ne si wanda ya wo ne su ya kini da za ki su aran musidan kan bi ya kini aran da ki su da takaddara donc an da ji ngo ga kan go
Si les populations sont suffisamment intelligentes pour faire face à toutes les situations possibles, c'est sûr qu'on peut faire face et au changement climatique et à la mauvaise gestion peut-être. Et également, il faut développer des ressources humaines de qualité. Et je pense que c'est une des stratégies qu'il faut beaucoup renforcer et dans l'espoir qu'on puisse en tout cas sortir de cette situation de pays éternellement ou en tout cas permanemment en crise, de pays permanemment assistés.
Most visible aspect, as we've heard, of the crisis in the Sahel is food and nutrition insecurity. But the solution goes well beyond the availability and access to nutritious food. Short, medium and longer term plans must be fully and purposefully integrated to ensure that the crisis of 1 year does not jeopardize the overall objective of building resilience.
I think we all agree that we need to change our approach to chronic drought situations such as that in the Sahel at the moment by managing the risks and not the crisis. We need to strengthen livelihoods and we need to reduce vulnerabilities before the peak of the crisis.
And focus on food security does not mean that we are deviating for overall strategy for Sahel, because we know that food security is only one of the issues that are crucially important for Sahel. But if people have nothing to eat and have no access to food, then basically it's a situation that is not acceptable. That's why we particularly focus on access to food and nutrition.
What happened today is quite remarkable. We got the countries from the Sahel region, the regional organizations like ECOWAS or SEALS, and then the United Nations, the NGOs, the donor governments, all coming together and all speaking the same language, all having the same message. We must mobilize today, and today's meeting produced a total commitment of $1.2 billion to fight the emergency, but also a recognition that we cannot go on like this, coming over and over and over with a hand saying give us money so we can fight the emergency. We have to tackle the underlying causes as to why the Sahel falls in this trap of recurrent hunger hitting the region.
I go ngare ya dai du wode kula ba me wonda no ngir mgo me do bodu ayo do bodu gonde shari ha woni kanga aga bici woni me a won go rapid pretke kongo ay go ngare no haro kanga ay no mute ay fata de no haro mo kayango daro go kanwo ay no gete de no dir ko
ate dama ga hamba no te dama dangu ga hamo mai kwara kura dai no zama mana amma magana su amma so alhamdulillah ga hamo kwano ba
all